Alright, YouTube, Sports Vlog 98 here, and definitely haven't made a video in a few days. My allergies are acting up, as you can probably tell in my voice, and I just simply haven't had the time to make a video. But today, I wanted to, first of all, if you're unaware, the Pittsburgh Penguins were able to beat San Jose for the Stanley Cup. It's a good series, and I think the Warriors take Game 6 in this NBA one. So, Golden State would be your back-to-back champions. But other than that, today I have NBA mock draft video with the draft coming up around the corner on June 23rd. I wanted to do this now and talk about what I agree with and what I disagree with. So, number one, the Philadelphia 76ers would select Ben Simmons. I agree that is the right pick. I think that even though Ben Simmons obviously wasn't able to take LSU to the NCAA tournament, he's a once-in-a-decade kind of prospect if he pans out to be who he's expected to be. And I think that isn't something you can pass up on. With no disrespect to Brandon Ingram, he's just the second best talent in this draft. Even though Ingram may turn out to be the better player, you can't not take Ben Simmons with that first pick. So obviously, a little spoiler, number two, Brandon Ingram from Duke is going to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. Ingram is the clear pick for number two. If you can't get Ben Simmons, you need to get Brandon Ingram. I've seen a lot of mock drafts, and there's no dispute between Simmons and Ingram 1 and 2. It's pretty consistent throughout the whole league. If I look up 2016 NBA mock draft, first of all, I'm using the one from CBS right now that was posted 18 hours ago, so that's good. That's really up to date. That's why I went with this one. This one from a day ago from Bleacher Report agrees Simmons 1, Ingram 2. And then you'll see that a lot of the other picks differ a little bit, but the one that remains consistent is Simmons 1 and Ingram 2. Now, as a Boston Celtics fan, with the third pick, I'd like to see them do one of two things. One would be the Celtics should definitely head in the right direction as an organization. So I'd like to see them trade it for Butler, Cousins, maybe not Kevin Love. I'm not really down for the whole Kevin Love deal right now. He hasn't shown me anything. But Butler and Cousins would be the two guys that I would love to see in Celtic green next year if you can trade that third pick to their respective organizations. But if they don't do that, the player I'd like the Boston Celtics to select is Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield supposedly had a really impressive tryout to the Celtics scouts, and one thing that this team lacked last year was a second scoring option to Isaiah Thomas. So I think that Buddy Hield, with the pure scoring ability that he obtains, I think he'd be the perfect fit at that number 3 pick. And I like that. So those would be the two options that I'd like to see. I actually will check the rumors around Celtics pick, because I bet you there's another player that I can't think of that would that would be a good fit. Yeah, see, Jimmy Butler. Yeah, Jimmy Butler. Boston Celtics, who hold the number 3 overall pick, are also known to have high trade interest in Jimmy Butler. Sources say that the Bulls are highly intrigued by Providence guard Chris Dunn, who's projected to be selected in the 3 to 5 range in the June 23rd draft. I think that's a good fit for Chicago too, because I'm reading some stuff also that they're interested in trading Derrick Rose, and let's face it, that Derrick Rose is not the MVP that he once was. So I wouldn't. Jimmy Butler coming here and the Bulls getting Chris Dunn, I think that works out really, really well for both teams. So this is interesting because last week I saw this. The other pick that I wouldn't hate if the Celtics took was Jamal Murray. He hit 79 out of 100 threes at the tryout for the Celtics, but Buddy Hield hit 85. So that was yesterday. So number 4, Phoenix Suns would select forward/center Dragan Bender. I think that's a really good pick for Phoenix, even though you get the little bit of the risk factor coming from a guy from Croatia. It's like an international player. There's always a little bit of a risk. But I don't think Dragan Bender is a bad pick for Phoenix. At number 5, the Minnesota Timberwolves would select I would say that they should go with Chris Dunn if he's still on the board. But if not, I also like Marquise Chris of the power forward from Washington. I think both of them would be good fits for the Timberwolves because, you can play Dunn. Dunn's a guard. He's not like a point guard in my eye. Like, he's a good point guard, but he could also play the shooting guard. And obviously his natural position is probably point guard. But Ricky Rubio really hasn't been all that impressive. So if you had to trade him, would it really be the worst thing for your organization if you just bring in Chris Dunn? I'd say no. And then Marquise Chris, also not a bad pick because you can throw him in your front court with Karl Anthony Towns, and then you also have Andrew Wiggins. So that's just a good forward combo and center with Karl Anthony Towns, and then you've got guards that you can build or find in free agency because this team's set for the future. So this is a good team for the future. At number 6, I would have the New Orleans Pelicans taking Jaylen Brown, the small forward from California. Jaylen Brown is young, but he's really athletic. And one thing that I like about Jaylen Brown is he's sort of built like a Rudy Gay kind of player. If I had to give you like a NBA comparison for him. But he's one of the best players left at this point in the draft, because then you're going to start getting into like other guys that are like good, but they need to work on some things. And Jaylen Brown's a good pick if you're just trying to get a solid guy for the future. He's a good athlete to help your team out. At number 7, the Denver Nuggets would probably take whichever guard the Celtics don't take if they make that pick. So either Buddy Hield or Jamal Murray. At number 8, the Sacramento Kings would, in my mind, either get actually, they should probably go forward. I'm going to say they go Marquise Chris if he's not off the board at 5 to Minnesota. At number 9, I believe. Yeah. At number 9, I think that the fit for Toronto would probably be you can either go Skal Laberizzi or Jacob Pottle of Iowa. Both of them are good picks. In terms of, because see, Toronto's not going to be able to keep his Mac Biyombo in free agency. That's like my big issue. And I guess they could go stretch 4 with like a Chris Bosh. So yeah, Yeah, I said Toronto should take Jacob Pottle at 9. Not of Iowa. Fuck. Not of Iowa. Utah. Sorry. No, he's from. Oh fuck! If I mess this up, I'm gonna be heated. Jacob Pottle. Pretty sure Utah, right? Iowa? No, he's Iowa. Where the fuck is Jacob Pottle? Nope, he's Utah. Okay. Yeah, he went to Utah. Oh my god, I got that confused. I need to get a tissue. Okay. Sorry. Number 10 now, it's the Bucks. And, Bucks could use a big forward. Yeah, I like, Deonta Davis, power forward, Michigan State. He's not, the CBS website describes it as Davis isn't necessarily exactly what the Bucks need, but he's a strong fit next to nearly every forward combination that they can run out there. Something that can't be said for most of the players available in this region. For his part, Davis is a productive rebounder, solid rim protector, defensive player, and could become an energy guy that can shoot in time. So, obviously the Bucks don't need a scoring option, so Deonta Davis would actually help them out a whole lot. At number 11, the Magic will select either Scalabrese or Jacob Pottle, whichever one is available. The way I have it panning out, I would say Jacob Pottle goes to Utah, which means Scalabrese would go to Orlando, and I think that's fine. He's a high upside player, but he needs to learn how to play basketball in a set system. My biggest issue with Scalabrese is I think last year John Calipari tried to change him into something that he's not. So you put him with new head coach Frank Vogel, and you know, he might be able to figure it out, and then that would be really good because he has a lot of upside. At number 12, the Utah Jazz probably will take another Croatian player, Ante Zizic. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but this has for people obviously don't know Croatian players that well. If I don't do my research, I don't know them either, and I really hadn't done that much research on Ante Zizic. I did a lot of research on Dragon Bender, though. I want to see what he was like. So the Utah Jazz select Ante Zizic. This might be a bit earlier than many have Zizic going, but NBA folks that I talked to are quite high on Zizic's skill and think he should be more in early to mid-teens area instead of the 20s. The Croatian is a high motor player with size, length, and touch around the basket. Also has great hands, and you can trust him to be mobile in the pick and roll on both offense and defense. He'd be a nice backup for Utah early. Obviously, he's not going to come in and start over Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert, but, you know, not a bad pick. So, number 13, the Phoenix Suns have the pick via the Wizards. I think a good pick here would be Malachi Richardson of Syracuse. Might be a little early for Malachi, but he was a little inefficient this year at Syracuse, but he has quick feet. He's got a great stroke, obviously, we saw in the tournament, and he's a good catch and shoot kind of guy, and he has size, and he definitely has the length. So for your pick at 13, when you're just trying to rebuild anyway, in Phoenix, you just took Dragon Bender. You should take Malachi Richardson. That's my opinion. At 14, the Bulls are picking, and I would say they should go with Henry Ellenson, power forward, center, Marquette. They describe Ellenson as a superb basketball player with good basketball IQ, potential to shoot the basketball, and solid passing ability out of both the low and high posts. For a power forward center, where you're going to lose Zhou Qi most likely. that'll give you some depth. But I also would like to see Chicago sign somebody like a Bismack Biyombo. So, see how that works out. What pick am I on? 15? 15 Denver Nuggets are selecting. And I don't really know who I want them to take right now. Alright, yeah. That's what I was looking for. In my notes. Timothe Luwawu. Luwawu. Shooting guard, France. The Nuggets are a good fit for Luwawu. They need a wing player, and he could be a good, solid like role player in the future, kind of like a Rudy Gay kind of guy. Not the same body type, but the same X factor. Like Rudy Gay would be great as like a second or third scoring option on a team. That's why it doesn't really succeed well in Sacramento. The 16th pick, the Boston Celtics are going to select Domantas Sabonis, power forward, Gonzaga. He has really high basketball IQ as far as I'm concerned. He's got good talent. He can really rebound. He has terrific touch around the rim, and he's an intense player. And to bring that to the NBA is crucial. At 17, the Memphis Grizzlies would select Wade Baldwin, the fourth, shooting guard, Vanderbilt. This is a good pick for Memphis. One, because Mike Conley there's growing concern in the Memphis front office that Mike Conley will leave in free agency. If Conley stays, however, you can throw Baldwin at shooting guard because Baldwin's a really lengthy player. And he can get out on big wings if necessary. I think that's a good solid pick for Memphis. At 18, the Detroit Pistons are going to select shooting guard Denzel Valentine. Denzel Valentine, obviously everybody knows him. He's a really good basketball player. You'd think he probably should be drafted a little higher, but I could see how he would be one that could succumb to draft day slides. So, really, it's hard to see him not going first round though, and I think Detroit would be a good fit for him. You can put him alongside Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Reggie Jackson. At number 19, the Denver Nuggets will select Furkan Korkmaz, guard/forward from Turkey. He's decided to stay in the draft because he didn't really. The process was kind of tricky for Furkan Korkmaz coming out of Turkey. People are like, it's kind of like a Ricky Rubio. He probably won't come over early, right away, which makes it a little bit of a risk for the Denver Nuggets. But I just said that the Denver Nuggets will be taking. Oh, who did I have the Denver Nuggets take? Oh, yeah. So, you can let him develop and then bring him back over. And you don't need him right away. You have good guard play out there in Denver. At number 20, the Indiana Pacers will select Damian Jones. Yeah, right? That's what I have. Yeah, Damian Jones, forward/center out of Vanderbilt. He's a solid center. He has an upside despite his age, and he's a 7-footer who can move who moves despite his size. At 21, the Atlanta Hawks will select Ivica Zubac, center out of Croatia. It's a good pick there because Zubac may or may not be willing to come over right away. But if you can let him develop I think he's in the Adriatic League. That's what I have written down anyway. then that would only help benefit the Hawks since they're not going to need him right away. At 22, the Charlotte Hornets will select Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince, small forward, Baylor. The Hornets, I think Marvin Williams is a free agent. That's what I have written down over here as a little asterisk. Prince would be a solid replacement for Marvin Williams in that system. The Celtics have another pick at 23, and they should take Bryce Johnson, /center, University of North Carolina. Tremendous upside. You saw what he did in the tournament last year. He's probably another one of those guys like Valentine that probably might slide a little bit, but it would be a good fall for Bryce Johnson if he could land up in the Celtics' arms. At number 24, the Philadelphia 76ers should select guard Tyler Ulis. Tyler Ulis has great IQ. He's a smart player, and he has good upside in my opinion. At 25, the Los Angeles Clippers will select DeAndre Bembry, small forward, St. Joseph's. Bembry is a good player. He's got a good jump shot. Or he doesn't have a good jump shot yet, but he has the ability to become an NBA starter if he can work on that jump shot and get it better over time. At number 26, I have the Philadelphia 76ers taking Cheick Diallo, center, Kansas. Diallo didn't play a lot this year, but he has a high upside. He's I don't know how it's going to pan out on YouTube, but what I was talking about was Diallo would be a nice option with Ben Simmons in the front court for the 76ers, but got cut off. I got a phone call in the middle of there, but I think the last thing that I got was that Diallo can run well in transition. If not, that's what I was going to say. At 27 now, the Toronto Raptors will select Thon Maker, forward, Australia. He's kind of a risk for the first round, but to go to Toronto, they were in the conference finals this year, so Thon Maker, his production really won't change their basketball team. They have a good, solid basketball team. The only thing that concerns me with Toronto is if they lose DeMar DeRozan, which is possible. He definitely has a lot of interest in LA, and that's just what concerns me a little bit about that. But, you don't really take that much of a risk selecting him at 27 because if I go back, they selected at 9 as well. So, they'll be fine. So now at 28, the Phoenix Suns have the pick. I think I don't really know who they could go with. I have them down as they can take Zhou Qi, the center from China. He has this is like his best chance to go in the first round. But he's going to probably need another year to develop overseas and then come over. So I don't think he's that bad of a pick necessarily. But for the Phoenix Suns, they're going to have to take a lot of prospects anyway. So, you might as well run the risk here, especially since you're rebuilding to start with. At 29, the San Antonio Spurs would select Steven Zimmerman, center, UNLV. It's kind of a risky pick, I guess you could say, but I think he's a big man, and he's going to be Zimmerman's is a highly touted prospect, but he hasn't exactly had the best year. But he only can go up from here. That's how bad it was. But I think for the San Antonio Spurs, where you're a great organization, this pick, if it doesn't work out, it's not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world. And at 30, I have the Golden State Warriors selecting Juan Hernan Gomez, power forward of Spain. I don't think the Warriors are going to be able to retain Maurice Spates. So Juan Hernan Gomez is a shooting forward, which obviously blends well with the Golden State Warriors. He can stretch the floor, and he gets a lot of rebounds. So that would be a good pick to round out the first round. So I know I'm a little ill, but I tried to get this video out here today. It's a little long, but this is just basically my first round mock draft, where I think everybody's going to go. Notable players who just are going to miss the first round. Diamond Stone, center out of Maryland. I have him going 32 to the Lakers or 31 to the Celtics. 30 the Clippers or the Lakers with shooting guard Malik Beasley out of Florida State. Who else just missed it? I have this whole whole spreadsheet thing that I'm looking at, and I'm also have 2 mock drafts up online. Malcolm Brogdon, 39 or 40 to the Pelicans. Ben Bentel, Orlando Magic at 41, but I also like him at Houston at 43. Gary Payton II, Chicago and or Dallas. Isaiah Whitehead, Detroit and or Boston at 51. Jared Utoff, Denver at 53, but I also would not be surprised with Brooklyn at 55. Kyle Wilger, power forward Gonzaga, seems to fit well for me at 54 to Atlanta. Yogi Ferrell, I like him at 59 to Sacramento or 57 to Memphis. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm SportsFog98. Peace out.